Yes, it is, and we are under start, just about under starters already, yes.
And now the red light goes off. So there you go. Everybody getting out of the way. The sleds begin to fire up, ladies and gentlemen, for the Sport Lite #2 final here at the U.S. Air Force Snow Cross National. It's in the starters' hands. And they're racing in New York. Down the stretch they come towards that Air Force flyaway.
Look at who it is. That's Riley Bester off with the early lead.
The stud boy hole shot goes to Riley Bester, and he is out like a light out front, headed for that AMSOIL finish line. But who's right on his tail right there?
That is Joachim Olsen, followed by Raphael Lemieux. Top 3 racers, along with Brandon Lynn in 4th, Jordan Wolf, Brian Peterson, Carson Allred, Cody Powell, Tucker Kierstead, and Taylor Cole in 10th.
A huge lead already for the young man who was our fast qualifier, #1 qualifier out of Prior Lake, Minnesota. You see the bunching up going on back there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but Riley Bester doing his best to separate himself from the field as quickly as possible.
Yes, Riley Bester got a great hole shot. That's key on this track, especially going into the whoop section. And here he goes, trying to make his way around. You can see how bunched up the pack is right now.
And look at the battle for second shaping up behind him back there. As right now, Riley Bester is the man on point, but back there in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Joachim Olsen, Brandon Lynn, and Raphael Lemieux are doing serious battle trying to get those 2nd and 3rd spots on the podium before they even try to reel in Riley Bester.
Yes, Riley Bester able to run away and hide right now. Joachim Olsen actually looks like he's gaining some time, but Brandon Lynn, Raphael Lemieux, and Jordan Wolf bunching up through that last corner. And I don't know if they're going to be able to catch Bester if they continue this way.
The sleds through the Active Cat corner on your screen. Meanwhile, your leader is on the front stretch over the Air Force flyaway, and my goodness, he's skipping like a rock. Look at that battle right there, the 44 doing his best. That's Raphael Lemieux.
And Brandon Lynn, the 378.
That's the battle for 3rd and the final spot on the podium up for grabs between those two right there. To the inside comes Lemieux. He makes the move.
Let's see if he can hang on to it going in the Arctic Cat corner. Lynn looks like he's a little troubled up through that rhythm section, just rolling everything.
Lemieux has taken the spot as they head towards the Arctic Cat corner. Again, that is the battle for 3rd. So it's Bester, Olsen, Lemieux, 1, 2, 3 now in the Sport Lite #2 final with 5 laps to go.
Yes, Lemieux making that pass, trying to get away from Lynn as fast as he can. There he goes into the U.S. Air Force flyaway section. And he's making his way on Joachim Olsen.
Already caught 2nd place and trying to make another move. Headed for the AMSOIL finish line. Crossed flags means we are halfway through this race. It's Bester, Olsen, Lemieux, 1, 2, 3, and the Olsen-Lemieux battle is beginning to heat up. Here comes Lemieux once again, very fast through that section, but he bobbled right there, Brendan.
Yes, he did. He's not going to be able to capitalize on anything now as Joachim Olsen is pulled away, and he's going to try and get away from Lemieux as fast as he can. I don't know if they're going to be able to catch up to Riley Bester right now.
Riley out with a 5-second lead. That seems like it would be insurmountable with 3.5 laps to go. Your racers are on the front stretch, the Air Force flyaway. Meanwhile, your leader is over the AMSOIL finish line, and that will put 3 laps to go for the young man out of Prior Lake, Minnesota for Fratallone Companies, FXR and Arctic Cat.
Yes, Riley Bester having a little bit of a couple bobbles through there. That's not good, as you don't want to do that. That's when you start getting tired when you have to save those.
Out of the Arctic Cat corner.
Onto the step down jumping. Here we go. Here's the battle for 2nd. Lemieux trying to close that gap as much as he can. He was about 1.5 seconds last time around. As they come off the step down, let's see what happens.
Takes an inside line to Olsen's outside line, but he bobs a little bit right there and loses a little area on the track. They're headed down the front stretch again. On your screen is the battle for 2nd. Here comes Lemieux!
On the inside line, let's see what he can make something happen. That inside line's been faster all day.
And the battle behind them is raging for 4th as well, but 2nd continues to be Olsen. It's Olsen Lemieux. A 2nd separates them right now.
Here they go in the back part of the racetrack. 2 laps left to go for these 2 riders as Lemieux taking some heavy
serious roost into his face right there. Into the Arctic Cat corner. 2 laps to go now. 1.5 laps for your leader, and 2nd and 3rd continue to battle. And that is the scene we are seeing on your screen right now. Down the front stretch he comes, and he's separated himself quite a bit here.
Oh, Lemieux almost off his sled.
Right in front of us, almost off his sled and loses his spot.
Let's see what
back
happens.
to fourth.
Yes. White flag is out this time around. Let's see if he can capitalize on that and get back into third place.
Riley Bester, the man on the screen, headed towards the Arctic Cat corner with about a 6-second lead, but there's now the battle for third.
Lemieux trying to gain his position back. He's had trouble through that section, but here he comes
Here he
around
comes.
the outside.
Paella and Lemieux. Lemieux trying to earn back his spot. Can he get underneath him there? No, he can't. He's going to try it again.
Lemieux has this outside line, I bet, or he's going to take the inside.
An inside move.
Yes. Now this is where he struggled last time around.
Your leader comes out of the FXR turn, and Riley Bester will take the win. Oh, no! As you see Riley Bester take the win, Joachim Olsen comes across in second, but Lemieux almost off his sled again, and that means he will not take that spot. That'll drop him back to 5th place.
Tough break for Lemieux.
Wow. So we'll set the order for you how they finished. Riley Bester, Joachim Olsen, and Cody Paella, 1, 2, and 3. Raphael Lemieux in 4th, and Brandon Lynn came across in 5th. Quite a race for the Sport Lite number 2 final here in Salamanca, New York. But there is your winner, a 5-second win for Riley Bester.
Cody Paella coming up from the back row.
Is that right?
Yes.
All the way to 3rd from the back row. He won the LCQ, you're right, out of Wallingford, Connecticut.
Riley Bester, a 14-year-old, dominating this class this weekend, sweeping today.
And coming in 3rd, we see him taking off his helmet right there out of Wallingford, Connecticut on the number 90, Cody Paella. High fives as he heads towards winner's circle right there at the U.S. Air Force Snowcross National. Coming in 2nd for Woody's Racing, Arctic Cat, Stud Boy, FXR, CNA, Amsoil, Fox, CMP, Speedworks, SSI hometown, Joachim Olsen out of Malacca, Minnesota. And your winner took that Stud Boy hole shot and ran away and hid for Fratellone Companies, FXR, Arctic Cat, Speedworks, Stud Boy, Spy, Graphic FX, Sled Bright, RSI, Extreme Max Products, and Peterbilt. Out of Prior Lake, Minnesota, Riley Bester. Congratulations to our top 3. Let's go down to Chelsea in winner's circle. Chelsea.
Thanks, Chris. This is our top 3 here in the Sport Lite class. In 3rd spot, Cody Paella. Now, after you saw Raphael Lemieux coming off of his sled during that race, what was going through your mind?
Just to stay clear of the wreckage and see if we can get through it.
And you ended up with the 3rd spot. Who do you want to thank tonight?
Team Southside Polaris, Mystic Lubricants, FXR Racing, Fox Shocks, Gravely, Woody, CNA Pro, SSI Decals, Spy Optics, my mom, dad, mechanics, everyone else who helped.
Well, congratulations, Cody. Great race. In 2nd spot, Joachim Olsen. Now, Joachim, you were charging hard all race long. What was your strategy today?
Drive fast and safe, but Riley is so fast, so yeah.
And who do you want to thank for your 2nd spot?
Woody's Racing, my mom, dad, FXR, Speedworks, Fox, Stud Boy, Woody's Towing, and all my sponsors back home, Gichto, jeden sami alla uppe i huvudet.
Well, congratulations, great race. And up on top of the box, sweeping the weekend here in New York. You got out front right away. What is the importance of getting out front here at this track?
It's very important because the snow is really sticky, so you won't have to wipe your goggles and you got a clear track in front of you.
And who do you want to thank for your big win tonight?
Bruce for getting my shocks perfect on this rough track. My mom, my dad, Articat, Russ Ebert, Fratellone Companies, FXR, my whole team, especially Jeff for giving me important lines, my sister, everyone else.
Well, congratulations, Riley. Great race. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We are going to get ready to go with the pre-race show coming up next.
You are about to see the best snowcross racers in the world take to a giant racetrack here in Salamanca, New York. You see that red light flashing, that means somebody broke the beam. It's back in the starters' hands. We've got 9 sleds ready to go racing towards that Air Force flyaway. Kyle Pauline in this race. Corin Todd, as we mentioned. Dave Jonas was fast last night, and the 9-time champions here as well. And they're racing in New York. Into the turn and down the stretch comes Tucker Hibbert with that stud boy hole shot.
That first 300 feet, very important. Tucker got a great hole shot, got out front early. Just what the rest of this crowd and crew and heat did not want to see is Tucker out in front.
A different back section of the track in round 10 than it was in round 9, but these guys looking like they're having no issues right now. It's Hibbert, it's Jonas, it's Tremblay. 1, 2, 3 as they head into the turn. But look at Stenberg to the outside of Tremblay, gets pinched.
Stenberg trying to find that line, didn't work. There you see your race leader, Tucker Hibbert, out of Pelican Rapids, Minnesota, as we've indicated, 9-time champion in Pro Open. Watch as he goes through the inside. We've seen some battles developing a little bit further back. That's the battle for second between Jonas and Tim Tremblay.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's actually John Stenberg who's up there battling, and he gets into second right there. So suddenly, John Stenberg is the man on a mission as he moves into second. I'll set the scene for you. It's Tucker Hibbert, now it's Stenberg, then Dave Jonas, then Tim Tremblay. That's your running order right now as we are 6 laps to go in this Pro Open qualifier.
As you watch Stenberg make his way around the racetrack and take a look at the rhythm section once again, that second place you're seeing right there. We need to keep an eye on the number 324, Kyle Pauline, currently in 6th. Had a good round 9. Let's see what he can do here in round 10. But there's your leader, Tucker Hibbert.
The 9-time champion Mike was so dominant in round 9, but Stenberg right now doing a great job of trying to find a way to reel in the T-Train himself, Tucker Hibbert. Another different section in round 10 on this racetrack. We got a rider off, that's Corin Todd.
Corin Todd, and it looked like it was an incident. He's back underway, but you have to wonder that, you know, if his back not bothering him, not able to do what he was hoping to do. Oh, he made contact, I think. He did.
Sure did. Got into it with Dave Jonas. Is that who that was, I believe, right there? Might have been. Yes. Regardless, a tough off for a young man who's dealing with a lot of pain on the racetrack right now, but he's back underway. Meanwhile, back up front, the lead is 2.5 seconds for the T-Train. The 68, again, our 9-time champion. Big Sky Country on the back stretch, and you see him make his way now towards the front stretch in front of this record crowd in Salamanca, New York.
Rhythm section here, inside, double, double, double to the corner. In 1 and 2 stays inside. Stenberg following him right around, trying to make up some ground.
3 laps to go for Tucker Hibbert. Right now we got Hibbert, Stenberg, and Tremblay. 1, 2, 3. Kyle Pauline has moved himself into the top 5. He's 4th right now, with Danny Poirier sitting in the top 5 as well.
Danny Poirier, a long day of racing. Earlier he won a regional Pro Open class, now trying to make some ground here and get into the final in the National Series. But Hibbert out front, it's still Stenberg in second, and Tremblay trying to make up some ground on the skidoo of John Stenberg.
2 laps to go for Tucker Hibbert as he hits the Amsoil finish line with a big bunch of air and heads down the backstretch. Tucker has been so hooked up from the starting line this entire weekend long. Let's just say it, this entire year long. And when he gets the hole shot, it's almost impossible to catch him, Mike.
There you see Tucker down into the corner, squares back around, still out in front, here through the rhythm section again.
Gonna see some lap traffic in just a second.
He's gonna see a lot of lap traffic.
Gets around Corin Todd and heads out of the FXR turn. Tucker Hibbert over that Amsoil finish line. 1 lap to go. Let's go down to Carly Applin. Carly?
Ross Martin, Pro Open rider, joining me right now. He's not on the track tonight because of an ankle injury, but you're going to tell us, give us this perspective of these racers right now as they compete in this heat race.
The track's definitely going to be a challenge. It's going to be very important to hit every mark perfect because there's a lot of rhythm sections on the track. And during the final, it's going to get really rough and lines are going to change.
Just no room for mistakes out there, right?
No, if you make a mistake, you're going to lose a lot of time.
Guys, we're going to head back to you.
Thank you, Carly. And the guy who hasn't made a single mistake is that man right there. Checkers in the air for Tucker Hibbert. Well done, Tucker Hibbert with the win. John Stenberg will come across in second, and Tim Tremblay will hang on for third. Kyle Pauline was reeling in Tremblay there towards the end, but could not get around him. He stays in fourth.
Logan Christian had a great last round getting up on the podium. He said this weekend, though, is a little bit different for him. His dad and team owner of Christian Brothers Racing not able to be here this weekend, taking care of his grandpa, who's back at home, and best wishes to him. But he said it gives him a little motivation, wants to do him proud. This is only the second race his dad has ever missed in his entire career. So again, giving him a little extra motivation to do well for his dad and grandpa back home.
Thank you, Carly, as she moves out of the way. That's right behind her was the 43 right there, that Doc 360 sled of Logan Christian she was just talking about. It's in the starter's hands. Let's do this. They're racing in New York, and down the stretch they go. Let's see who we can call the hole shot. We'll give it to Logan Christian into the turn. Logan Christian with that stud boy hole shot, but Lincoln Lemieux on the inside.
Logan goes outside. Look at him look over his shoulder. Lincoln Lemieux looking over his shoulder. Able to go bar to bar over the AMSOIL finish line, and now Logan trying to find a little better position to take the lead.
Both of those racers had a great round 9, and here in round 10, they are right back to their old tricks. It's Logan Christian and Lincoln Lemieux, 1 and 2 as they head through that Arctic Cat corner.
Logan on the 43, you know, and we made the comment about him and his father. Him and his dad very close. I'm sure that it's got to be tough for Logan not to have Dwight here. But like he said, extra motivation, that's showing right now. Finding good lines, just racing very clean.
The outside line seems to be working very well for Logan Christian, again out of Fertile, Minnesota, all the way to Salamanca, New York right now, and putting some distance between himself and second, Lincoln Lemieux.
Last time it was about 9/10 of a second. We watch them as they go through the back part of the racetrack. This is a switchback. There is Logan taking comebacks in. Then he goes through the front part of the racetrack. This is a very demanding rhythm section.
The Air Force flyaway and into this sweeping turn that ends with the FXR final turn towards that AMSOIL finish line. Green still in the air. 5 laps to go for Logan Christian. It's Christian Lemieux and Corey Watkinson, 1, 2, 3 right now.
You watch that back part of the racetrack right after the finish line. It's basically developed so they've got to go double, double, double. Nobody's been able to figure that out. Here's a battle. This is the sled of Corey Watkinson and Jake Scott. I talked to Jake earlier. Jake currently in 4th place. Had that good run early on in the final in round number 9. Said that he's struggling because he hasn't been able to practice much because of the locations where he's at, not having snow or tracks not being prepared. So said he's a little sore today, but feels really good.
Looks like he's getting back under speed very, very well out there in this Pro Open qualifier. We see a yellow over there. So everybody's got to slow down. We'll try to tell you who's there on the racetrack. That might have been Renheim by the looks of the sled, but I don't want to speculate till we find out for sure.
It was Adam Renheim.
Adam Renheim's sled right there, but I don't see Adam anywhere.
No, he's off to the side of the racetrack, and that's not a good sign when you see one of our workers trying to bring the sled off the racetrack.
Let's go down to Carly Apple, and she's right beside the racetrack. Carly.
We talk about how physically demanding this track is because of the addition of those rhythm sections. It can create something called arm pump for these racers. They get very tired, hard to hold on to that sled. And when you're handling a 500-pound machine underneath you, that just can't happen. You can come off your sled. It can be very challenging out there. So remember how physically demanding this track can be throughout the race.
Thank you, Carly. Again, that's the 43, and that is your leader, Logan Christian, for Doc 360 Arctic Cat and Arctic Wear as well. And he has been on a rail all weekend long into that Ram corner. He'll come around and hit that AMSOIL finish line. They'll put 2 flags in the air. 2 laps to go in this Pro Open qualifier for the leader, Logan Christian.
He's really putting everything together here in this qualifying heat, now with about a 3-second lead over Lincoln Lemieux. Just so fluid as he watches and picks his lines, very in control of his sled. Just a great job by the racer out of Fertile, Minnesota.
He'll hit that Air Force flyaway here at the U.S. Air Force Snow Cross. Tries to stay smooth as possible as he comes through the Ram turn. Out of the FXR final turn, and he'll see the white flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Logan Christian in this AMSOIL Pro Open qualifier.
There's the double, double, double down into turn 3.
Smooth as silk.
It is. He's not skating across the top. He's got great rhythm, great control through that part of the race section. Comes through the switchback, and then you'll see how he does on the rhythm section here in the front part of the racetrack.
Makes that left-handed turn right in front of this giant group of fans on the front stretch. Double, double, double. And out of the FXR final turn for the final time, taking the checkers, the win goes to Logan Christian here in Salamanca, New York. Looks like Lincoln Lemieux's going to hang on for second place. Corey Watkinson will come across in third. Jake Scott right now coming out of the corner. He'll make it across in fourth, and Andrew Carlson will be scored fifth in this Pro Open qualifier. Let's go down to Carly Apple, and she's with our winner. Carly.
Logan, how important it is to get out front on this track, not get behind anybody, really get that whole shot for visibility?
It's really important. The track's really rough today. There's no breaks like there was yesterday, so vision is very important so you can see the lines you're hitting and where you're landing through the rhythms. They're a little ice edgy and off center and off soft and hard in spots, so you really the vision's important out there tonight for sure.
Should we give a little shout out to your dad who's back home, not able to be here?
Yeah, for sure. I got to give it out to my dad and grandma and grandpa down in Arizona, my aunts and uncles watching, and my other grandma and grandpa are watching my dog Axel, so I got to give it up to them for watching him, and everybody, all the fans and everybody that watches that keeps our sport alive. It's awesome.
Good luck in the final.
Thank you.
Well done, Logan, and hello to Axel if you're out there watching. Great name for a puppy dog. One of the most exciting divisions in all of motorsports is about to take the green. And they're racing in New York. Down the stretch they come.
Marty Cat out front early. That's your points leader. Montana Jess leads them into the field, and who's racing around the outside?
Now that's Jess on the outside to the inside.
That would be Daniel Benham.
Benham comes to the inside, and they are drag racing down that backstretch. And here comes Elias Ishuel, all the way from fourth now into third in one straightaway. It's Jess, Benham, Ishuel. That's actually, you're right, that's Ty Fair. You're right. So there you go, Montana Jess, your points leader. That red number plate means he is your points leader. And down the front stretch he comes. You'll see him come out of the FXR turn, head for that Amsoil finish line. Through the air they go. Jess, Benham, and Ishuel, 1, 2, 3.
Ishuel sitting in third had just a nasty off last night and cased one up there. Look at Daniel Benham. Benham all over the back of Montana Jess. These guys in the points battle. There's Ishuel. Ishuel in third, and Ty Fair right behind him. See what kind of riding style we see out of Elias this evening.
And the battle right in front of him is certainly serious right now. Jess and Benham really getting after each other, and they're going to slow each other up enough to allow Elias to be a part of this battle. But the 765, your points leader, really wants this race. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Inside comes the 221 of Benham, but he can make it stick. And there you go. The lead continues to be Montana Jess, but Max Tyfair is off his sled right over by the lights over there.
Yeah, tough break for him. Ended down in the down by one of the lighting standards. Hopefully he's okay.
And there goes Ishuel. Right there he goes into this battle for second is Elias Ishuel.
Ishuel taking an inside line.
And look at the battle right there. There goes Ishuel, but here comes the Rocket looking for the lead. Down the backstretch, it's a drag race. Underneath comes Ishuel. He'll slam the door on the points leader, and Elias Ishuel will take the lead. Oh, he's off his sled.
Nat, I'll tell you what, checkers are wreckers. Here we go again.
He made a great, very, very valiant effort to get into the lead and lost it in the very next turn, and now he's taking a
tough block with him.
Montana Jess said, what just happened? I'll take that lead right back, thank you. And there he goes. Let's see what happens here. You see an underneath move.
Comes back underneath. Not any contact. Just landed off camber again, then he ran out of racetrack.
Goodness sakes. Thank God for youth, Mike, because he is up and back on his sled, and you see him right there on the racetrack in fifth right now. Again, we'll take a look at it one more time.
Starting to cut underneath people right away and making passes. Here's your race leader.
Less than 2 laps to go right now as he comes out of the FXR turn. There is your leader, the 765, heads for the white flag. White flag in the air for Montana Jess. He has been Mr. Consistent all year in a class where consistency isn't always happening, Mike.
It is. That's what we've said about this class. It is so exciting because you don't know who's going to raise to the top of the heap here. These guys racing, 1 week it may be one driver, next week it may be another driver, but Montana just doing what he needs to do as a points leader, just being consistent.
And down the Air Force flyaway for the final time, into the final turn, and out of the FXR turn, headed for the AMSOIL finish line and the win. Montana Jess takes Heat 1, Round 2 of the Pro Lite Division here in Salamanca, New York.
Daniel Benham will come across in second. Look at this.
Look who came
Ishul comes across in third. Wow. Tyler Adams in fourth. Nick Patton, Steven Turchanik, and Max Tyfair will come across in seventh place. You wanted some exciting racing. I think we're doing a pretty good job tonight.
I would say thanks to one young man, Elias Ishul,
Wow.
we are always in for the race of our lives. Glad to see Max Tyfair back on his sled as well. That looked bad for him for a second. So when Jess, Benham, Ishul, Adams, Patton, Turchanik, and Tyfair, the 7 racers in that Heat 1, Round 2 of the Pro Lite Division. And we're about to go green once again. Heat 2, Round 2, Pro Lite is on the racetrack, and they are racing. Down the front stretch they come. Bumping and banging, but they all make it through cleanly thus far.
Corbin Anderson in that with that blue jersey looked like he was out front, but it's going to go to the outside. That is going to take and give the lead to Jake Angove. So Angove picking up where he left off last night.
Angove with a late race move for the win last night here in the Pro Lite Division in Round 9, and here he is out front once again. I'll set the scene for you, though. It's Angove, Anderson, Muller, and Johnstead, and that is the battle right now, Mike. Muller and Johnstead battling for third right back there.
So Johnstead looked like he was almost off his sled.
Some might be wrong, yeah.
Well, I asked him if he was going to race tonight. He said it's going to be lap by lap. It's all dependent upon his shoulder. It's tore in the front, tore in the back, but he looks like he's got sled problems the way he's looking down.
It does look like something may be wrong with the sled right there, but there's nothing wrong with this one. The 177 of Jake Angove. Jake from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, from Polaris, AMSOIL, and Exalta, along with Jack Link's Beef Jerky. And he's been fast all weekend long here in New York.
Supporting the colors for Judnick Motorsports now that Ross is banged up again. Doing a great job, winning Round 9, out in front in his first round, or rather first heat here, second heat in Round 2 qualifying.
And a big bunch of racers there, third and fourth and fifth as they head down the front stretch in front of this crowd. Into the FXR turn there. We'll set the field for you once again. Angove is your leader by 5 seconds over Corbin Anderson. Travis Muller, Cole Coutu, third and fourth. Kevin Wallenstein right now scored in fifth with Michael George, Jacob Blanchard, and James Johnstead back on the course, but not a factor right now. Scored in. Oh, we've got somebody off the track.
Yeah, that's Cole Coutu. Coutu brings his sled back on. So he is back underway. He was in fourth place. I think he's going to fall back to about 6.
See what happens here.
Off camber,
ran out of racetrack.
That's
exactly. We saw that twice last night, Mike.
Yes, we did. But remember, that was because there was that big air, and they just ran tight there. Now you're talking like that rhythm section that goes double, double, double. Same thing can happen in more than one spot.
Mr. Consistency, again, out front, Jake Angove, very fast, lap after lap. He's built a 7-second lead right now with 2.5 laps to go in Heat 2, Round 2 of the Pro Lite Division. Look at this battle, Mike.
Well, there's a little bumping and banging going on there.
I'd say. You are correct.
Corbin Anderson, and I believe that is Travis Muller. Muller, another one of the Coutu Motorsports racers, and Muller trying to get around up to second place, which he does.
Spot. Yes, he sure did. And looks like Anderson's got to watch out. Wallenstein right on his tail as well. The 2 laps to go signal, 2 flags in the air, 2 laps to go as it's Angove, Muller, Corbin Anderson, Michael George, and Cole Coutu, your top 5 right now with less than 2 laps to go.
Transitioning, yeah, through that transition area gives you an opportunity to set up and decide what you're going to do when you come through the front stretch. There you see Angove. He'll work his way into turns 1 and 2. Stays on the inside. Come across. It'll be 1 lap left to go.
White flag is in the air, Mike, for the 177 of Jake Angove. Again, got out front early, and nobody's been able to reel him in since. So fast in Round 9, and here he is in Round 10, still feeling it. Sometimes you just find a racetrack that's to your liking, Mike.
He is so smooth on this racetrack. He was last night. It changed up. There's Muller doing battle. Is that Wallenstein that's back up there?
It is. Well, maybe not. Is it? Yeah, that's the
No,
122.
He may be lap traffic, though. I think he is. So Muller trying to get around. Lappers are not really doing any battle with him, just letting him go. Checkers are out.
Over the FXR, I should say, over the AMSOIL finish line, the 177 of Jake Angove will get this win in Heat 2, Round 2 of the Pro Lite division. A runaway 10-second win for Jake Angove. Travis Muller will come across in second. Cole Coutu scored in third. It's like Michael George. No, Jacob Blanchard got around Michael George. That's right. So it's Jacob Blanchard in fourth.
Then it'll be Michael George, James Johnstead, and Corbin Anderson ending up in eighth.
All right, we are back in starters' hands. The Pro-Am Women Final on the starting line. And they're racing in New York. Down the stretch they come. 15 sleds into the Air Force flyaway. And we'll call it the stud girl hole shot.
Elina Oman out in front.
Elina Oman, and she was so fast earlier in her heats, and here she is leading over that AMSOIL finish line. Elina Oman on the 170 is your early leader in the Pro-Am Women Final.
Megan Brodeur right behind her, then Amanda Dutzman. Your number one qualifier, Marika Renheim, sitting in fourth place.
Battle for second shaping up back there. You see it's Brodeur and Dutzman, I believe, right now doing the battling. Oh, that's Marika Renheim. She's already moved up to third and is already setting her sights on second place. So things are about to get serious as they head towards that Air Force flyaway. Here comes Renheim, Mike.
Renheim on the inside. Brodeur in second place. Goes outside, then transfers inside. Tries to take away Marika's line. Successful so far, but Marika charging hard.
Over the AMSOIL finish line, and there you go, the top three, and there's Marika Renheim, the 311. She'll look to the outside of Megan Brodeur.
Wouldn't be a bit surprised if Marika tries cut back down underneath here. Nope, not close enough. Not going to make it happen. Look at there's a battle for the lead.
And Megan Brodeur to the inside of Elina Oman, and she'll take the lead.
Boy, we didn't see that coming. Elina looked to be out front, solid. Not unless she had a problem there. Able to hold on. She's still in second place, so it's Brodeur, then Oman and Renheim. Those are your top three.
And there goes Megan Brodeur into the lead on the number 31. To the inside goes Marika Renheim trying to find a way around Elina Oman, but the battle for second continues as our leader is now Megan Brodeur. But here comes Elina Oman again trying to get back that lead, Mike.
Oman trying the outside, going to try to sneak around Megan Brodeur. Brodeur able to find a little more speed and a sled off down in the corner.
And inside goes Renheim trying to get around Elina Oman, and she can't make the move there. Megan Brodeur is your leader. Elina Oman in second, and Marika Renheim in third as they head towards that Air Force flyaway.
Transition, then working their way through the rhythm section. Into the corner, Renheim stays down low, as did Brodeur. Look at Elina Oman taking the outside line. Not really able to capitalize there. Boy, starting to get rutted up on that backside of the racetrack.
Now watch Megan right here. That's where she hits the speed and leaves him in her snow dust. Every lap it's the same thing. Elina this time takes a little bit of the lead away, but can't make any more room in that Arctic Cat corner. But here comes Marika Renheim. So it's Brodeur, Oman, and Renheim as they continue to battle with 4 laps to go.
Boy, Renheim took a way outside lap. Some of the mechanics out there showing their drivers to get going. One of them had to retreat a little bit.
Coming around 4, 3 laps to go over the AMSOIL finish line. It continues to be Megan Brodeur. Here comes Elina Oman. This is the fastest section of the track for her. Now watch Megan Brodeur get on the gas
right about here.
Now.
Now this is where she really accelerates right there. Look at her put some distance between her and Elina Oman.
Into the Arctic Cat corner, takes a look over her shoulder and sees Elina Omen there once again. It's still Brodeur, Omen, and Renheim, Mike.
And it's about the same distance between all three of them. Brodeur's got about a second on Omen. Omen's got about a second on Renheim. They bunch up a little bit, and then they all spread out again. So each of them's got a stronger part of the racetrack that they work on.
And here comes that lap traffic, Mike. Let's see how Megan Brodeur can navigate the lap traffic as she heads for the Amsoil finish line. 2 flags in the air. That'll mean 2 laps to go for Megan Brodeur. It's still Brodeur, Omen, and Renheim. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Brodeur found a great line, got around the lap traffic. Matter of fact, extended her lead to almost 3 seconds over Elina Omen. But that battle for second and third between Omen and Renheim, very heated up. You could throw a blanket over both of them. Look at Renheim trying to work the outside. They're bar to bar into the corner.
She got her, Mike. We've got a new second place rider for the moment as Marika Renheim gets around Elina Omen. They head towards the Air Force flyaway and down the front stretch they go.
Through the rhythm section, there you see the 311 going around some lap traffic. That's Marika Renheim. She goes to the outside.
And your leader takes the white flag, Megan Brodeur, with 1 lap to go.
And it was 3 seconds last time. Now, Megan Brodeur only about 0.8 of a second ahead of Marika Renheim.
They're bunched up on the backstretch.
Oh, look at that. Brodeur was able to get through, and Renheim gets caught up a bit. That could be make or break right there.
It certainly could. The 31 of Megan Brodeur will take that left-hand turn and head down the Air Force flyaway in front of this record crowd in Salamanca, New York. Less than half a lap to go for the win for Megan Brodeur. Marika Renheim is charging. To the inside is Megan Brodeur. Marika Renheim will follow her out of the FXR turn. Flames in the air, and the win goes to Megan Brodeur.
There is one happy lady. That's a good win for Megan Brodeur. Marika Renheim charging hard, just couldn't make up the time. And look at her. She's still got that fist pump going. Congratulations going out to Megan Brodeur.
What a win for Megan Brodeur. It went Brodeur, Marika Renheim, Elina Omen, 1, 2, 3. Amanda Dutzman with a great run. Nikia Williams in 5th. Then Tatum Axe in 6th. Tausha Lang in 7th. Miranda Schmidt came in 8th. Cassie Thibodeau in 9th. And Sasha Brandt rounded out the top 10.
So let's introduce to you the top 3 here in the Pro-Am women's class. In 3rd place on the 170 Polaris, racing for Mystic Lubricants, FXR Racing, Wicked Audio, CNA Pro Ski, and Traction Arians Company. She is also racing for Southside Sales. 3rd place, Elina Omen. In 2nd place, from Lima, Sweden, racing for Jimmy John's, Lucas Oil. Also racing for Boss Racing on the number 311 Skidoo, Marika Renheim. And your winner, racing from Quebec, Canada, for Anderson Racing, Fly Racing, Skidoo, BRP, and Walls Unlimited. On the number 31 Skidoo, congratulations goes out to Megan Brodeur. Let's go down trackside with Chelsea.
Thank you, Mikey. I'm down here with our top 3 in the Pro-Am women class, and what a race it was. Elina Omen, you were battling hard with Marika that whole race. Tell us about it.
Oh yeah, he was right behind me. I was trying to be in front of her, but he passed me.
And who do you want to thank tonight?
I want to thank Team Southside, Dave's Racing, my mechanic Rob Mason, FXR, Spy, Fox Shocks, CNA Pro Skis, my family, my boyfriend, and everyone else.
Well, congratulations, great race. In 2nd spot, Marika Renheim. Now I want to talk about getting women involved in the sport. You've been racing a number of years, and we had a full final tonight. Tell the girls how they should start racing.
Yeah, it's really fun to be here and see so many girls to start. I don't know, it's just you need a really good support of your family because it's a tough sport and you can't do it alone. So that's just to start with.
And your support team, who do you want to thank tonight?
First of all, Boss Racing Team, Skidoo, Jimmy Johns, Lucas All, Fly Racing, Lean Shocks, and all my family and friends and Swedish sponsors back at home, just a big thanks.
Well, congratulations, Marika. Come on down, Megan. Up on top of the box tonight in front of all of your family coming out for this race. How does it feel?
It's so fun, like all the family together, races. It's awesome.
And who do you want to thank for your big win tonight?
I'd like to thank my dad mostly, my team Anderson, Walls Unlimited, CNE Pro Ski, Fox Shocks, Scott Goggles, 139 Design, Inca LS, Star Suspensions, Skidoo, Dees Marine, Scott, my friends, all my fans, thank you, and my boyfriend, City. Thanks. Oh, and also Ronnie who helped me today for my suspension. Thanks.
Well, congratulations. That is your top 3 here in Pro-Am Women. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Hey guys, as we get ready for another qualifier down here on the start line, this is what the racers are seeing. The first 300 feet of this track, so critical. Not only is every hole shot important, but even more so on this track because they're headed straight into a rhythm section. Any mistake out there can take them out for the entire race. They want to gun it off the start, but they're going to have to watch their timing through this rhythm section, make sure they don't get tangled up with anybody. We're going to head back to you guys as we get ready to go green.
Thank you, Carly. And again, a stacked crew in this Pro Open qualifier about to take the green. It is in our starter's hands. When he thinks there's ready, he's going to shine that green light on him, and we are going to go racing in New York. John Stenberg, closest to your screen, ready to go green. And they're racing in New York. Down the stretch they go. Trying to see who got that stud boy hole shot. I'm going to give it to Lincoln Lemieux on the outside in that number 13 sled. Lincoln Lemieux with the stud boy hole shot.
Corn Todd railing around the inside, though. It's going to be close. I think Todd's got him. He does.
And look at John Stenberg back to his old tricks. Lincoln Lemieux with the stud boy hole shot, and he lost it in the first turn. Here comes Stenberg inside of Corin Todd.
Puts him upside. Oh, just parked him.
And Todd off his sled and into the deep snow right there. A disappointing situation for Corin Todd right there.
That's a tough one to tip up, too. You almost got to roll it over on its windshield to get it back on its skis. Stenberg out front.
So that's the 259 of John Stenberg. Let's see how it happened here, Mike.
He just worked him upside, and the thing was that Corin Todd wasn't able to carry enough speed through there to keep the sled up on that pitch, on that angle, and thus he rolled over, and that's where he ended up.
John Stenberg has been fast all night in round 10, and right now he's setting the pace in this Pro Open qualifier. Right behind him, though, Lincoln Lemieux with big air over that new step jump in that section of the racetrack.
And he's got his teammate right behind him, Tremblay, only about 0.6 of a second behind Lincoln Lemieux. So both the Shearing Speed Sport sleds running 2-3 here in Heat 1 of round 2. AMSOIL Pro Open qualifying.
5 laps to go for John Stenberg. All the way from Sweden on his Skidoo for Warnet Racing, and very fast out there for Makita as well tonight in the Arctic Cat corner. You just saw second right there behind him. The 13 is Lincoln Lemieux.
They'll transition into the front part of the racetrack, into the rhythm section. As you see him blast through there, Stenberg takes and makes his way through. A little on the rugged side, goes outside, decides to use the speed of that Skidoo, that Makita-sponsored Skidoo, working his way around, still a leader.
Big air over the AMSOIL finish line to put another one in the books, and we've got 4 laps to go in this Pro Open qualifier. Stenberg makes his way. He'll take the extreme outside line through that Arctic Cat corner, and we'll see the step jump right here. Just for a second, you saw Lincoln Lemieux, but the lead is still 2.4 seconds for Stenberg.
Yeah, he's got substantial lead, and Lincoln Lemieux now with about a 2.5 second lead over his teammate, too. As this race has carried on, everybody's starting to spread out and fall into more of a pattern. Stenberg's in the pattern he wants to be in. He's out front.
You are correct. Stenberg right there. You see him, and right behind him, here comes Lincoln Lemieux. Let's go down to Carly Applin right beside the action. Carly?
Lap by lap, this track is getting more and more rough. As it gets rough, we're going to see inconsistent lines. They're going to be changing all night. That means more passing out there on the track. We saw Lincoln Lemieux, Corin Todd, now John Stenberg, all making passes out there. It'll continue to be inconsistent all night. Guys?
Carly, perfect timing. We saw that almost get Lincoln Lemieux. He almost fell victim to the track and lost a lot of space.
Did you get a stud count on the bottom of that sled?
Nice.
We were able to see it, that's for sure.
That is for sure. So now it's Stenberg and still Lemieux right behind him, but Tim Tremblay, you'll see the number 11 in a moment coming up behind him, and suddenly Lemieux is right on Stenberg's tail as they hit that Arctic Cat corner.
Found another gear
bumping
underneath.
Now, if you remember earlier in this race, there was a little bit of elbows thrown by Stenberg. Lemieux giving it back to him just a little bit here as we have less than 2 laps to go.
You got to be able to give and you got to be able to take. Now Stenberg, he's going to pull away a little bit, and now Tremblay starting to get in that battle too. So you're going to be able to throw a blanket over these guys, Stenberg, Lemieux, and Tremblay with 1 lap left to go.
Inside he goes. We've got a new leader. Here comes Lincoln Lemieux to the lead, and now here comes Tim Tremblay on the last lap of the race. Stenberg goes from first to third, and the teammates now will battle it out with half a lap to go.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Tremblay can make a move on his teammate. Look at Lemieux. Both of them competing for, of course, AMSOIL U.S. Air Force, cheering speed sports. Lemieux outside. Tremblay, he will take the inside line. Checkers are waiting for him.
Over the AMSOIL finish line, and he will win on the Air Force sled this Pro Open qualifier at the U.S. Air Force Snowcross Nationals. Lemieux, then Tim Tremblay in second. John Stenberg comes across in third. Dave Jonas in fourth, and Jake Scott in fifth. And they're racing in New York. Down the stretch they go. Lemieux is right on Stenberg's tail as they hit that Arctic Cat corner.
Found another gear
bumping
underneath with 1 lap left to
Inside
go.
he goes. We've got a new leader. Here comes Lincoln Lemieux to the lead, and now here comes Tim Tremblay on the last lap of the race. Stenberg goes from first to third over the AMSOIL finish line, and he will win on the Air Force sled.
Congratulations, Lincoln Lemieux. That came down to a battle at the very end there. You said you didn't even know Tim was coming up behind you.
Yeah, with like 2 laps to go, I kind of saw Tim out of the corner of my eye, so I knew I had to get going, but Stenberg, he was making a few mistakes in the whoop, so he bobbled the last lap, and I think Tim and I both got by him, so it was a good race.
You mentioned those whoops. Talk about these rhythm sections and how physically demanding it is out there every lap.
Yeah, they're really sharp out there right now, so if you case them, you might crash or swap out, so just try to be as smooth as possible through there and not make any mistakes.
Good luck in the final.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much. Congratulations. We'll break and we'll come right back with the Pro Lite feature from Salamanca, New York. You're watching AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network. All our winners in this one, Mike.
They sure are. Logan Christian, Zach Patton, Corey Watkinson, Andrew Carlson, Adam Renheim, Tucker Hibbert, and look who's alongside him, Kyle Pauline.
They're both on the outside of your screen right there. Actually, I see Tucker to the right side of your screen and Kyle all the way to the outside, and they are racing. It's a drag race down the front stretch. Is it Tucker? No, Kyle Pauline with the stud boy hole shot. And look who comes along with Tucker right there. Logan Christian bumping and banging with Tucker Hibbert.
And Renheim working the outside.
And over the AMSOIL finish line, big air for your leader, and that is Kyle Pauline.
Works through nice and smooth. Big battle for second, third, and fourth. Here comes T-Train.
Oh, look at the big air out of Tucker Hibbert. And the battle will begin back there, and Kyle Pauline will hope they continue to do so as he tries to get away. Kyle Pauline out of Ironwood, Michigan comes down the front stretch. And you see the T-Train right behind him. Right behind him would be Logan Christian, scored in third right there. T-Train to the outside. Pauline over the AMSOIL finish line. 6 laps to go for Kyle Pauline.
You know, this is going to look, I think, a little bit like Deadwood. This is a great battle. We talked about the heat that they had in Deadwood together. Kyle was able to hold off Tucker till just the end of the race. Let's watch them as they work their way around this racetrack.
Look at this right here. Looks like somebody came off their sled, and that was Logan Christian. A hard crash on that Doc 360 sled. Looks like he's being helped over to the side. He'll be checked out to make sure he's okay. Logan won his first heat race tonight in round 10, and now injured here in the second heat race. There's Tucker Hibbert.
That sled dug in hard,
and Tucker Hibbert has taken the lead away from Kyle Pauline. Tucker Hibbert to the front once again, that number 68.
So the order will be Tucker Hibbert, Kyle Pauline, Corey Watkinson up to third, Renheim in fourth.
Let's take a look here.
Oh, Pauline.
Kyle went off his sled. That's how he lost the lead to Tucker Hibbert right there. So the track taking victims right and left here in Salamanca, New York in this Pro Open qualifier.
Yeah, there's no favorites.
So Tucker Hibbert just sits around and waits. Pauline makes a mistake, and he goes back to the front. A picture in smooth is Tucker Hibbert into that Arctic Cat corner right there. So it's Hibbert, Pauline, and Watkinson, 1, 2, 3, and this is the battle for 3. I said Watkinson, and look at Renheim coming up behind him right there, Mike.
He's charging hard. Corey trying to cover every line with that 173 Arctic Cat. Renheim charging, comes back down to the outside. Will look at the line. Now he tucks down underneath. Here they come through the front part of the racetrack.
Here comes the Jimmy John sled to the inside. Watkinson to the outside. Out of the FXR turn, they'll drag race towards the Amsoil finish line. 3 laps to go as Hibbert continues to be your leader. Pauline in second, and Watkinson and Renheim right there on your screen. Battle for third. Watkinson to the outside. Renheim can't make the move there. They'll continue towards the step jump. Renheim to the inside, jumps in the air and takes the spot through the air as they head towards the Air Force flyaway, and that'll put Renheim into third. 2 laps to go in this Amsoil Pro Open qualifier, and the running order is Hibbert, Pauline, Renheim, Watkinson, and Andrew Carlson. That is your top 5 right now.
Everybody's spaced out a bit, just trying to almost survive this qualifying heat.
And there is your leader, the 9-time champion himself, Tucker Hibbert. Into the FXR turn. He'll head towards that Amsoil finish line, and the white flag awaits. 1 lap to go for the T-Train. Very smooth. It's a technical racetrack. And, you know, I was about to say that's the kind of track that Tucker really likes, but is there anything that Tucker isn't good at? I tell you, we go to Deadwood on a small track that's very hard for him, but he still dominates. And here on a big track with a very technical back section, he's finding a way to get her done again.
Here he comes through the front part of the racetrack. He's not pushing it hard here. Little double there. Rolling double, just going into that last corner. He knows the checkers are out. He knows he's got about an 8.5 second lead.
And over the Amsoil finish line, checkers in the air. Tucker Hibbert will win again in Salamanca, New York, here in Heat 2, Round 2 of the Amsoil Pro Open class. That'll put Kyle Pauline into second as he hangs on to the sled. I almost got away from him. He'll get a second place. Adam Renheim comes across in third. Corey Watkinson will run fourth, and Andrew Carlson will start in fifth. Let's take a look at a recap of this race because it got crazy right away. And, of course, we'll talk specifically about what happened with Logan Christian. Kyle Pauline out front right there. The battle right there. You look at Logan.
Yeah, Pauline had the hole shot. We talked about that. Yeah. Got out front and, you know, had his bobble. That's what probably cost him the lead.
And then Logan Christian right there. Oh, a very, very hard impact for Logan Christian.
Just kipped hard, threw him off the front of the sled.
Here comes Kyle.
Same thing with Kyle. Look at him. Landed hard, threw him off the side.
Upper body strength, I'll tell you what, to get back on that sled. And Tucker Hibbert takes advantage of it all. Just runs away and hides. And takes the checkers and the win by 7 seconds. Let's on to Carly Applin, who's with our winner. Carly?
Congratulations, Tucker. Another win for you out there. Let's talk about this backstretch. We've been talking about it all night. We saw Logan crash back there. There was a change to the finish line. What is your approach back there to stay safe, but also, you know, take advantage out there and get the lead?
Yeah, it's a pretty technical section for sure. You got to be real careful and not override it. You don't want to come in too fast and then clip the tops because it's pretty easy to get tossed off. But you know, it's all about minimizing mistakes and riding clean, smooth laps. And for me, I'm not really interested in taking any huge risks out there, but at the same time, I want to go fast and feel like I'm riding at my best. So it's definitely a tricky section, and it's going to be you know, pretty big in the main event to keep through there smooth.
Something fans don't see is the work that's put on by your mechanics, you know, the team behind the scenes. Talk about the work you guys do in between each of these races.
Yeah, it's a lot of work in the trailer. You know, we go back and the mechanics tear the sled down and do a ton of work on it, just going through every detail to make sure it's 100% for me to go out on the racetrack, and I feel like, you know, I've got the best team here, best team in the pits to make sure that my sled's dialed, and that gives me the confidence to go out there and ride like, you know, ride like I know I can, and do my best for them.
Congratulations. Good luck in the final.
Thank you.
It's in the starters' hands, ladies and gentlemen. And we are racing once again in New York. And down the stretch they come. And Ty Fair with that stud boy hole shot into the turn. Again, the racing order, the finishing order, will set the back row of the feature later on tonight for the Pro Lite division. And Ty Fair out like a light. Look at him go. It's Ty Fair, Blanchard, James Johnstead, Michael George, and Nick Patton in that order. Kyle Rao
not making the call.
was the racer who did not make the starting line.
Through the transition part of the racetrack. Now making that left-hander back onto the front stretch. Max Ty Fair, your race leader. The Amsoil U.S. Air Force. Skidoo.
Through that FXR turn, headed for the Amsoil finish line. Green flag still in the air. And over the finish line he goes at 1:44. Max Ty Fair out of Quebec, Canada.
Laval, West Quebec. Rest of the drivers, your second place driver, Jacob Blanchard out of Garfield, Minnesota. We've seen him enter that camera shot every once in a while.
Makes the left-hander and heads in front of this great grandstand full of folks in Salamanca. Oh, hold on to it, Max. He does.
That dead sticked him. That gave Jacob an opportunity to make up some of that 2.5 second differential between the two.
Oh no, something's broken. Something is broken on Ty Fair's sled.
So his sled was still running when he pulled his tether, so it would either be
not happy.
Would either be a belt or a chain case, one of the two.
Something happened right there. We will find out more as soon as we can, but Blanchard then becomes the man in the lead. He'll make his way in front of the fans down the Air Force flyaway. Here he comes. So now that'll be Blanchard, George, Patton, and Johnstead with Ty Fair off the track. Out of the FXR turn. 2 laps to go as he heads over that Amsoil finish line, Mike.
Blanchard out in front, about a second and a half ahead of Michael George. Nick Patton. Ty Fair going to fall all the way down as James Johnson sits in fourth. These guys know they just need to complete circuits here. Why go out and bang up the equipment and bang up the body? Let's just get around, move to the final, and see what we can do there.
Now, Mike, I would guess even though the sled broke and Ty Fair won't be able to finish, he'll still be the 5th qualifier into the back row of the final, right?
Yes. That was a pretty straightforward answer, huh?
Yes, it certainly was. White flag is in the air, but that's what I like. I need to know the information. You give it to me. There you go. The 132, Jacob Blanchard takes that white flag out of Garfield, Minnesota for BCS Construction and Arctic Cat, plus Stud Boy and Power Mad. Out of the Arctic Cat corner. That big old step jump right there. Half a lap to go for Blanchard. In front of the MMI tower, down the stretch he comes.
Take the inside line, just rails up, comes back down, squares, sees Iceman with the double checker.
And there you go. The win goes to Jacob Blanchard here in the Pro Lite LCQ. Michael George will come across in second. Nick Patton will come across in third, and James Johnstead will round out the field and transfer into the final with the 4th qualifying position. So that will set the field for tonight's Pro Lite final. A little bit later on, not far from now, as a matter of fact. And Mike,
40 minutes or so?
Yeah, something like that. Let me tell you, Mike, you know, what we've seen is a very, very challenging track. And that is for the best snowcross racers in the world. Pro Lite, Amsoil Pro Open. We're about to see the FXR Sport Final. FXR Sport Final is on the starting line. Fans in Salamanca, let me tell you, you're about to see something special. It's in the starters' hands. And they're racing in New York. 15 sleds down the straightaway. So far, so good.
Working through carefully. Look at that. That is a chunk of iron down into the corner. Neubauer was your #1 qualifier. Let's watch him as they go over. He is going to be your leader. Nicholas Lorenz right behind him. Evan Dowd, Mitchell Thielen. That one of the Polarises that are on the racetrack. Tyler Ullman. Then it's Roper, Giesman, and Dylan Jensen in 8th. Those are your top 8 sleds.
Eddie Neubauer got that stud boy hole shot, and he is out front and going. But look to the inside. Here comes Nicholas Lorenz. And we've got a brand new leader just like that, Mike.
And he charged hard late in the race last night in round number 9. He looking here saying, I'm not going to wait that long. I got to get up front early on. He does just that, and he is your new race leader.
Wow, that's a lot of air for Nicholas Lorenz and a big lead already. It's Lorenz, Neubauer, and now Evan Dowd up into 3rd with Tyler Ullman in 4th and Mitchell Thielen in 5th.
You watch Nicholas Lorenz. There is Eddie Neubauer. Lorenz so smooth, this young driver out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, racing for Polaris, FXR, Amsoil, SSI.
Oh, we've got a rider off his sled, the 125.
That would be the machine of
725. Oh, no, okay, that is Tyler Ullman. He was all the way in 4th. You're right. That's a hard pill to swallow for Tyler Ullman. Again, he was in 4th. He's off his sled. Now Dirk Rober moves into 4th. Let's see what happens here.
Yep. Same
my
thing.
Goodness.
Boy, I think came right over the top. It's lucky he didn't slip all the way over and land on top of him.
I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised. That's the first time I've seen an accident, at least myself today, on that step-down jump. It's pretty big. That's the first victim I've seen. Nicholas Lorenz is your leader, Mike.
I was watching him through that part of the racetrack that he just came off of last lap. Didn't look the smoothest. Looked a little bit smoother that time. It scrubbed off a little speed. His lead now about 1.5 seconds. So Lorenz out front. There you see right behind him, and he's charging hard.
Here comes Neubauer. That's right. A bit of a checkup for Nicholas Lorenz, Mike.
Neubauer on the Arctic Cat, and Lorenz just, it's like he lost concentration through the front part of the racetrack. Let's watch him this time through.
They'll head down the Air Force flyaway, and just like that, Lorenz gets away from Neubauer once again. The extreme outside of the Ram corner and out of the FXR final turn. Over the Amsoil finish line, 3 laps to go in this, the FXR Sport 2 final. And your leader continues to be the man who got the stud boy hole shot, Nicholas Lorenz.
Boy, you get on the outside, you just pin it and let it carry.
Looking at this race back there, farther back in the field. That's the 208 right there of Hunter Pattenode. Mitchell Thielen right there. That's the battle for 5th.
Right. Thielen out of Paynesville, Minnesota, racing for Hanco Utilities, Amsoil and FXR. Well, you see him hit the brakes, bring the front of that sled down.
And that is your leader, getting into some lap traffic right there. The 572 of Nicholas Lorenz, making his way into that Arctic Cat corner with less than 2 laps to go in the FXR Sport Final.
240 was the lead that he had last time.
And down the front stretch he comes. You see right behind him right there, Eddie Neubauer on the 747, still within striking distance as Nicholas Lorenz gets into heavy traffic on, well, right now over the Amsoil finish line, the final lap has begun. So Nicholas Lorenz in heavy traffic. Eddie Neubauer right there trying to capitalize.
Neubauer going to try go inside. That could be the place that he needs to make the pass.
Lorenz to the outside. Oh, they're going to get together.
Oh,
no!
Neubauer
off his sled.
Tried to come underneath, just made slight contact. Didn't unplug his tether, so he's still good to go, but he's going to lose some places. And what a mess here.
Sled's right at the beginning of the Air Force flyaway, but Nicholas Lorenz gets through unscathed. Into the Ram turn, out of the FXR final corner, and the flames will shoot in the air for the win. Nicholas Lorenz has won the FXR Sport number 2 final here in Salamanca, New York. Big win for Nicholas Lorenz, and let's see if Neubauer got back on in time. He did. Eddie Neubauer will still find his way to the podium for a 2nd place finish here in Salamanca. Evan Dowd comes across the Amsoil finish line, and he will take the 3rd and final spot on the podium. Dirk Roper will come across in 4th. Mitchell Thielen will come across 5th. And the battle out of the FXR turn to set 6th place right here. Adam Peterson will come across in 6th. Jake Giesman in 7th. Cameron Anderson 8th. Jeff Jason in 9th. Colton Lugert will round out the top 10, followed by Caden Woody, Brandon Lynn, Dylan Jansen, Hunter Patton-Newt, and Tyler Ullman rounding out the
In 3rd place out of Longville, Minnesota, racing for Team Lavallee, Polaris FXR, and Precision Woodworking. On the 413 Polaris, Evan Dowd. Your 2nd place finishers out of Union Grove, Wisconsin, racing for American Metalcraft Industries, Artie Cat, Get Fast Inc., and Rock River Marina. He's on the number 747 Artie Cat, Eddie Neubauer. And your winner from Kenosha, Wisconsin, racing for FXR, SSI Decals, Amsoil, Lawrence Excavating, and Topsoil. On the number 572 Polaris, your winner, Nicholas Lawrence. Let us go down to Chelsea in winner's circle.
What a crazy final that was here in the FXR Sport class. Our 3rd place rider, Evan Dowd, 2 podiums in a row. What are you looking forward to in Mount Pleasant?
Another podium. That's what I'm looking forward to. I've been feeling awesome this weekend, and I'm looking forward to carrying the momentum into next week and then the rest of the season.
And who do you want to thank tonight?
Again, I want to thank the Lord for keeping me safe, giving me this opportunity. Team Lavallee, of course, they're always there. My dad, my mom, the rest of my family, my girlfriend, all my friends. And I want to thank FXR, Polaris, Fox Shocks, CTI Knee Braces, CNA Pro Skis, Rock Speed FX, Digital Inc., Longville One Stop, Lori's Loves, Ace Hardware. Who am I forgetting? CNA, I think I said that. Everybody else I forgot. I'm so pumped to be up here. Thank you.
Congratulations, great race. In 2nd spot, Eddie Neubauer, we were watching you. You came off of your sled during the race and still recovered for 2nd. Walk us through those last couple laps.
I was trying to go for the pass for first, and there was a ton of lappers, and I just got into Nick and kind of took myself out on that one, but got back up and just kept trying to run as strong as I could. And the track's rough. There's a lot of really good lines and a lot of good passing out there, and a lot of fun. It's a real good track.
And who do you want to thank tonight?
Huge thanks to Articat, my mom and dad, American Metalcraft Industries, Rock River Marina Motorsports, Stud Boy, Ingram Motorsports, Get Fast Inc., Motorfist Clothing, Goodwin Performance, 60 Helmets, RP Refinishing, Doug and Russ from back home for building an awesome track, Andy McGarrah, my mechanic, he's been busting his butt all weekend, Crystal Wall and Photography, Action Graphics, everybody, thanks so much.
Well, congratulations, great race. And your big winner tonight on top of the box, Nicholas Lorenz. Now, you guys are kind of unique. You run your heat races during the day when the sun is still out, and then your final is at night. How do you adjust for the change?
Just clear goggles, and just when the lights are out, it makes it so much easier to see the holes. I mean, when the sun's out, it's kind of like, you can't really see the holes. It's just a dull light, so at nighttime, it's way better.
And who do you want to thank for your win today?
I want to thank Polaris, everybody from Polaris, Junebug for everything, Bob, Ben, Brad, Lorenz X-Fan and Topzone, my dad, On Time Enterprise, Maximum Service Heating and Cooling, FXR, SSI Decals, everybody was there for me. I just want to thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations, Nicholas. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the box.
Thank you, Chelsea, and congratulations once again to our top 3. What a fun class that is to watch week in and week out. And thank you to our great friends at FXR for bringing us the FXR Sport Class week in and week out. Round 10 of Amsoil Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram, continues. Again, the U.S. Air Force Snowcross Nationals, presented by Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino. Mike, watching, whether you're here on site or all over the world, here's our GoPro lap of the day.
Interesting as you leave this 300-foot section before the rhythms, very important. It sets you up to get out front and get a good run through the rhythm section. 2 lines through turns 1 and 2. This is the outside line, then it's power on and across the Amsoil finish line. Now on the back section, it's double, 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 and that's a huge change from what it was in round number 9. Little dart down in the corner, a little con contact too as you make the big sweeper. Now, this is the transition area before you go into the front part of the racetrack, where you go back into that rhythm section, and that's a GoPro lap of the day.
Man, that's a great perspective from the top of John Stenberg's helmet, I believe, right there, of this fantastic racetrack in front of this giant group of fans who continue to streamline their way into Cynic Allegheny Resort and Casino to watch the best show on the snow.
So Carlson, Patton, Jonas, Vinnie Poirier, Springer, and Todd.
They get him revved up, and we are about to go green with the last chance qualifier to set the field for the final, and they are racing. 4 sleds on the racetrack, and down the stretch they come.
We lost a couple more. Let's see
sure
who's
did.
not in the final, or in this LCQ rather.
Corin Todd, Ryan Springer, Andrew Carlson, Zach Patton. So we're missing Jonas and Poirier.
Jonas and Poirier.
Oh, a hard crash for Ryan Springer. And he gets up slowly. The sled upside down right there. We'll figure out what happened in just a second. Corin Todd out front. Let's take a look at it here.
It's on the outside. Oh, just caught a bad line.
Oh my goodness.
Landed off axis and it just snapped him right off.
And Ryan back onto his sled very slowly, very gingerly, as Corin Todd out of the FXR turn. 4 laps to go in this AMSOIL Pro Open LCQ. Corin Todd is your leader, bad back and all.
You talked about the work that you're doing with your programs that you put together each week, and your Ryan Springer program, how you talked about the fact that he has really realized how it's taking him so much time to learn the new power bands of these sleds and how to make that Pro Open sled work for him.
Ryan's a great kid, very well spoken, and really very thoughtful as well. The thing that I continue to be astounded by is this is his 3rd full season ever of snowcross racing full time, and already has moved into the AMSOIL Pro Open class after dominating Pro Lite last year.
But the thing that we found out is that, like you said, he was very dominant in Pro Lite the 2 years that he raced. He's really finding a learning curve issue here moving into the bigger sleds.
Well, they are bigger, and the competition obviously that much better as well, and the pressure is very intense, and it bit him just a moment ago. Corin Todd continues to be your leader. And by the way, thanks for mentioning that, by the way, Mike. On snowcross.com, I do a podcast every post-race weekend Monday. And you can check it out at snowcross.com. Over the AMSOIL finish line, Corin Todd continues to be your leader. He's got 2 laps to go, and then the field will be set. Over the AMSOIL finish line right there, Andrew Carlson, Zach Patton. That's the 151 right there of Andrew Carlson. Andrew Carlson out of Big Lake, Minnesota for Polaris Sport Tech and AMSOIL. Also Best Western as well. And there's the 99 of Zach Patton. Zach is out of Ravenna, Michigan for Stud Boy Arctic Cat and Arctic Wear. See him going through that Air Force flyaway section right in front of the grandstands here. White flag is in the air. Corin Todd, less than a lap to go, and the field will be set for the final.
Corin looking solid here. He's taking his time. You know, he's got, again, a 7.5 second lead. Just save your body, make the laps around here, finish up this circuit here, move on to the final.
Talked to him for quite some time today, around noon as he was walking towards the racetrack quite gingerly, having problems with back spasms, but he said he was going to power through, and right now, again, led from flag to flag, and he'll take the checkers in the AMSOIL Pro Open LCQ and get himself into the final with that first choice of starting position. It'll go Corin Todd, Andrew Carlson, Zach Patton, and Ryan Springer. Into the final they will go.